Hello guys, welcome back to another cinematic mic review. Today I'm going to review John Rice and Albert Calleros' Beavis and Butthead Through the Universe, written by Mike Judge and Lou Morton, I believe. This is a new Beavis and Butthead film, a movie that came out. They did a Beavis and Butthead Do America, I think, like in the 90s, which I didn't see at the time. I was young. Probably I wasn't even allowed to go see it in the theater, but I'm pretty sure I might have seen it probably when I was young or on the TV or something. You know, I know Beavis and Butthead because of my older brothers used to watch it. It was on the TV, so I got into it because of that. So I know who Beavis and Butthead is and all. Um, and yeah, it's written by Mike Judge, comes back too, and I followed this story. I remember it's cool because I didn't even know about this movie. I didn't even know about it until like a week ago. It barely came out, like I think like a few days ago, or was it last week? But I know I found out like a week before it was gonna be released or something. I saw like something pop up on my feed, and it said, "Oh, the new Beavis and Butthead movie." And then I was like, "Wait, they're doing a movie or they're coming back or something?" I thought it was just like something else. Talking about the past, and I looked it up, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, they're coming out with a movie, and it's coming out on Paramount Plus." So I was like, "Oh, cool." I didn't even know. I'm like, maybe I'll check it out. But then I was getting kind of worried. I'll tell you right now. Well, yeah, I'll tell you. I was getting worried because when they bring back the original stuff, it doesn't work out or anything. It doesn't go right. It's just kind of like trying to grab attention or grab money or all that kind of thing. They're milking it and everything. But yeah, I saw it and then I saw the reviews. Actually, got great reviews, so I got more curious. I remembered when it got brought back in 2011. I remember that time. It felt like it was just yesterday. It makes me sad because I literally can feel it like it was yesterday. And I remember I would go to my friend's house because he had the cable or something where it was gonna come out on. And I didn't have any of that stuff in my house. I only had like movies and a television, but we didn't have any of that stuff. And so I would walk over to his house there when they like brought it back for like a new season, and it was in 2011, I think. And I love that season. I don't know what you guys think, but I ended up liking that season. We were so excited, and we actually thought same thing I felt right now. I think me and him were kind of worried at the time that it might not be that cool, but it was cool because it was like Beavis and Butthead and what was going on at that time, which made it funny. Like I laughed a lot when I saw it, and especially with him too, with my friend. We laughed the whole time, and I love what they were doing with the new like pop culture on that around that time and all that. I think Twilight was popular around that time, and I think they kind of made fun of that stuff and all that a little bit. So they're trying to fit into the time and seeing what they were doing, and I think that's what they're doing here too. In this new one, they're kind of putting Beavis and Butthead in our time right now in 2022. And again too, look, it's kind of sucks because every time I hear universe and all that universe, I get annoyed. But in this time that we're in, I think being in a universe is kind of what gets people's attention all the time. So I was kind of worried about that, but this is like a Beavis and Butthead movie, and it was funny as hell. I haven't laughed like that in a long time. I was literally laughing like like right when I was about to cool down, I started laughing again, and my laugh just wouldn't stop. And I felt really happy. I missed that. I went out with my friend yesterday, like all day with him to go eat. We went out with his kid, and then we had some drinks. I got home and I was kind of tired, but I'm like, I kind of want to watch that. I have a lot of things to watch. Maybe I should just put it on before I don't have any time to watch it. I'll stay up late, and I just put it on, and I had a good time. I was thinking about it too. I was like, Beavis and Butthead, though, all the stuff that they do, that they say. I was like, I don't know if that'll be perfect in this time. Like, it's a different time. I don't know why. I don't know if it'll work. People probably, but it got good reviews, and a lot of people actually enjoyed it, like I did. And one of the reasons I enjoyed it is, I think, because I miss comedy, and I miss comedy like that too. And it reminds me a lot of the comedy that I like. I've told you guys before that I was never a fan of like rom coms or like just kind of comedy. I was more into dark comedies. But really, around this time, I don't even think you can make any dark comedies anymore. There are some probably out there, but they're not as good as the classic ones that I mean, I like Big Nothing. I like Fargo. I like Burn After Reading. I like Seven Psychopaths. I like In Bruges. Those were great, but even when I think about those, if I'm thinking about the scenes that I love or the scenes that made me laugh, as the ones that I quote with my friend and all that, I'm like, you wouldn't be able to put that on in the theater anymore because we live in a time where everyone's kind of sensitive to everything, which I think some parts probably good, some parts were bad though, because I think it really affected a lot of us who actually like dark comedy, and some of us who can take a sense of humor and all that, and just know that we're just using laughter as a way to just laugh and just feel good for a little bit. That's it. It's not like something I'm really gonna do later and like tell someone something, or do something to somebody or anything. But that's kind of what I missed. And when I was watching this, it kind of reminded me about all that, and I was like, oh my god, this is why I miss so much comedy. I things that come out now, I'm surprised that we don't have it as much. There used to be a variety of things for everyone. Now all we have is like blockbuster IP films and all these Marvel films as they keep coming and coming, and they're going to television now too, which is just horrible. Just all this like property of like characters and all that stuff that can make money off of like toys and all that, everything. So it's I think there's a lot of reasons why, but these two are big ones, just like these franchise movies now taking over because Marvel became so popular with all these people wanting to just watch that and just can watch that nonstop, which I think is dumb. I'm like, don't you guys want something different at least? I mean, watching the same thing over and over again. And then again, the whole sensitivity in this world, I know how to like at least take a sense of humor a little bit. I've people around me, some of them are like that, not the really close ones, but I know some people that I could tell are kind of all like into that really like safety stuff and all that. So it's disappointing because some of the directors I like, some of the writers I like, they can't do any of the comedies that they used to do because of this whole situation right here. I mean, even Todd Phillips, they asked him, like, I saw a post the other day where someone was talking smack on him on, like, I don't know where it was, on Facebook or on YouTube, where they're like, what did they say about, what is it, Todd Phillips, where he's there, they told him, they're like, hey, why don't you shut up and just go back to being cool and making hangover movies? Be like, and I wanted to comment and be like, dude, he can't make the hangover movies anymore. That's why he went to go do Joker. He can't do those movies. He said it himself. He's like, I can't do any comedies. Like people won't find it funny. They'll get offended and everything. He can't go and do those stuff anymore. This guy just went and was like, hey, why don't you shut up and just go back to doing these? When this guy is not aware that Todd can't do that stuff anymore. And I think it affected a lot of other people too. Like even some comedian actors talk about that. They're like, yeah, we can't really do that anymore. And it's something I miss a lot because when I want to see a comedy, I want to laugh. The same way I like scary movies, and I tell you guys, I want it to actually scare me. If I need a comedy, I want it to actually make me laugh. And the way I was laughing yesterday when I put this on, I was close to tears almost. And I told you, a laugh would go away, and then some scene would happen, and then I'd start laughing again right away. And that felt great. I haven't felt that in a long time, and I love that about that. There's some things in it that kind of try to talk about like serious issues a bit, which I guess people can take it that way. So I don't know. I mean, it depends on your views and all that. But what I was thinking about when I was thinking about doing this video too, I'm like, oh wow, people are probably gonna bring this whole political stuff up too. It's not really political, but what I think about, even though people could say I'm on one side of political beliefs and my other friends are probably on that side, I am able to acknowledge that, there was a time where it was for both of us and not just specifically for this side, So I think that's why a lot of people have issues with some things where they start having concerns over why are you pushing this on me and all that stuff, So I understand that, but yeah, because I think about that's one of the things that I liked about when I'm not sure if this makes sense. Some people still say this is kind of political, but when I saw Top Gun, I was thinking about it too. I wanted to see it because of all that, but I'm like, oh, is it gonna be all like all like? But as I said in the review, I like that it was just about them as military, Navy pilots and all that, and then even the people they're going against, they don't really show who it is, and then no one had to say like, oh, it's about this, it's on this side, it supports that side. No, it was just talking about it. Made it seem like it was just, we're just saying Navy pilots. We're not trying to like, there is one scene I think in there that kind of shows something, but it was just a scene and that was it, and no one said anything, but it was like in the background and everything, but that was it. But that's something I think I liked about that, and then again, the whole thing of like, yes, I think there's a part of me that kind of feels uncomfortable where I'm like, yeah, I'm on this side, but I'm still kind of thinking about like, are we just going to choose this side now? It's the same thing as I saw that video about what the guy talked about, Real Shift talked about on, was it Real Shift? I think it was Real Shift who talked about it on Disney, kind of telling some guy that was just bringing up a concern, and and they just said no. And that guy's kind of a fan too, so I got to think about that too. Are all the movies that are out there just going to be for this side, or like say for these people, not for these, so, and I've noticed that a lot of films, I've seen a lot of things, genre films recently, and I've been noticing, I started thinking, I'm like, hey man, some of these things are missing. I'm like, I didn't even notice. I'm like, hey, yeah, they're missing. So I started looking up reasons why. And I think some of the things I said is why. Beavis and Butthead was great, man. And the one thing I do want to talk about more is that I miss my dark comedies, man. I really miss them a lot. I wish they would be playing in the theater again so I could laugh so hard. We haven't had like a classic good comedy. What reminded me of like the classic comedies I used to watch? I thought The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nicolas Cage was gonna do that. It felt like it was gonna be an epic scale, like the way I said, like kind of a bit. I don't know if Tropic Thunder is a dark comedy, but it felt like something big, kind of like that. But it didn't hit the mark right away, the one that I wanted it to hit. It was still a good movie, but I think I had high expectations for it because I was like, oh, we've been missing something like this for a long time, and I want to see this. So that's one that I can kind of tell you, it kind of, I had hope for some things to come back with that. But this Beavis and Butthead actually made me laugh throughout the whole time. I knew what they were gonna say, kind of, even right before it even happens, you kind of already know these characters throughout your life, and you're like, oh, I know what they're gonna start doing. These guys are stupid. You know what they're gonna do, and it's stupid. And I think sometimes we need kind of this kind of stuff for a little bit. Like this kind right here is fine right here. Other things are like safe comedy, or like the comedy and those, what movies I'm talking about. Those are just like little kid comedy, and that's it. That's why I miss this comedy. But right now it seems like all that comedies are just for like little kids, safe comedy and all that. But I really enjoyed seeing Beavis and Butthead again. I think it was a good film. It's not like a big time masterpiece, I guess, but it was it was entertaining. You could watch it on Paramount Plus. I just wanted to share like what I felt with it, and how I'll talk about how I miss dark comedies a bit, but they're gone now, and I wish they were here. Even I sometimes would think like I want to write a dark comedy, but you think about it now and you're like, you can't really do it. You don't even know if it'll get viewed or anything, seen or anything, or if anybody will do anything with it, because nobody really wants that anymore. One of the things I love about Beavis and Butthead is that it always makes me feel for them. Like, Beavis and Butthead's always about like, we're going to score, they're going to score. And it always actually makes me believe like all this kind of stuff that, and in this film, it actually feels that way, that I was like, oh, damn, we're all in the world I think are gonna clap or something, and I don't know, just like the journey of Beavis and Butthead's on missions to do what they do. It's always entertaining to see what stupidity they're doing throughout the world, and it's the people around them and themselves too. So that's it. I just had a good time. I had a good time watching it. So yeah, guys, I'm trying to think if I could say anything else. I had a feeling I had more to say, but right now I think that's all I'm gonna say. So that's my review on Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. If you guys enjoyed my video, please hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.